From the St. James, located in Springfield, Virginia, 13 miles from our nation's capital, you're watching ESPN High School Basketball, presented by the United States Marine Corps. Got a good one on tap for you right now as Bishop Walsh of Maryland takes on Legacy Early College of South Carolina. Good afternoon, and glad that you could join us alongside ESPN recruiting analyst Adam Finkelstein. I'm Joe Torti, and Adam, we have got a jam-packed day full of high school basketball. It's only 1:30, but the stars are already out.
Well, we certainly do, and if you have missed high school basketball this year like I have, you are in for a treat today. 4 straight games on the ESPN networks, and of course, it all wraps up with that main event at 7:30 on ESPN with IMG against Montverde.
Bishop Walsh and Legacy Early College bring some stars to the table. Who are you watching today?
Well, I'll tell you what, for Bishop Walsh, the best prospect on the team is Made Traore. Now, he's not going to start today. In fact, he's probably not going to put up big numbers, but long term, this is a guy with significant potential. He's got great length. He's got great touch. You see the extension there. He's got the potential to stretch the floor, but this guy, Bryce McGowan's, he's all about the here and now. The leading scorer in the event this week at 24 points per game. He's a 6'6" guard who scores at all 3 levels. The Nebraska signee can do a little bit of everything, and I tell you what, he's got upside as that body continues to fill out.
McGowan's part of a good recruiting class at Nebraska, and of course we'll be highlighting where all of the stars are headed over the course of the afternoon. 3 big games today, one on ESPN at night as well, the other 3 on ESPN3. And glad that you could join us for those. Bryce McGowan's and Legacy Early College about to square off against Bishop Walsh. Legacy Early controls after the win by Jason Baker, and we are underway from the St. James.
So the other thing you need to know about Legacy, they're going to play around their 2 guards. We've told you about McGowan's. Jacoby Wright is the other guy to watch. Number 3 in white. He's headed to South Carolina next year. Those guys are going to put up the vast majority of the offensive production for this team.
Also serves as the athletic director. And he's a guy who is coaching a lot of stars here on his roster.
Nice pull-up action there. Again, that's Jacoby Wright. The guard tandem is going to do just about everything for this Legacy squad.
Jordan Rayford answers from the corner, and the senior from D.C. noses them back in front. Walsh, their first bucket, and now they're falling.
Committing to New Mexico, what he does is he fits a prototype that is in high demand in the college game, a stretch 4 who can pull opposing big men away from the rim and shoot the ball with great touch.
Speaking of touch, finishing around the rim there nicely. And you can see full court pressure now coming from Walsh. Here's Habib forcing the turnover.
Got to get spacing.
Miller.
Nice find.
The choke. Splashes it down. There's that stroke that you were talking about at.
Steve Peichel, you want hard-nosed, gritty guys who defend the ball, and that is exactly what Jalen Miller is.
McGowan's looking for the step back. Wow, what a nice touch from the corner.
So again, 3-level scorer. Rim, feel for the game, have to keep developing. But if the most glaring deficiency right now, relative to getting to the next level, is that body type, being able to put on some muscle mass and be able to absorb the level of contact he's going to see at the next level.
Traore grabs that rebound, and here comes Bishop Walsh. Habib into the lane, and is able to hit
at the mid-major level.
Bishop Walsh up 5 early. Traore trying to build on that, no dice, and that's a tough paper out with Jason Baker down low as well.
Well, and again, that's where you see that lean frame. It's great to be able to come up with that catch. How about that move there by McGowan?
Habib coming back the other way, so the score is heating up here in the early going this first quarter.
And notice how Habib kept the defender on his backside there, really understood the angle of pick and roll and used that strong frame to his advantage. He did not call that bank. It doesn't count. The bank is not open on Sundays.
Baker able to get that one off the window. And the step back won't fall there from Malik Bowman, one of the top rated power forwards in his class. Coast to coast, it's McGowan's. Nice outlet and nice finish through contact.
He makes it look easy.
Just like that, we're all square at 15.
Good find.
Habib, and the finish by Jalen Miller.
Habib going through the lane at full speed, put that kick out pass on the money to Jalen Miller, and he knocked it down.
There's a matchup of the two stars in the game, McGowan's against Traore. Nice leaning hit there. 2 of 6, they've hit 4 of their last 5 to make this one close.
Did you see how long that guy's legs are? I mean, you talk about the ability to run the floor and be efficient. Economy of motion is the term for that, but just the ability to get up and down with the fewest number of strides possible.
Certainly an impressive guy, and you see how he closed out on shots bothering, but a good finish there overhand.
They were struggling to score the ball earlier this week. I think some of that has to do with their defensive game plan. When you play that extended zone back into a 2-3, it's going to slow the game down. But
you know, it seems like historically, Adam, too, so many tough, big guards come out of D.C. To hear that he's from the nation's capital, you say, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And I tell you what, you see him here make a defensive play. Oh, he got hit.
Yeah, no call, and it'll stay here with Bishop Walsh. McGowan's 4-star player on ESPN.com, and another steal. Miller going coast to coast.
So he's not the flashiest guy, but he is going to fit that Rutgers mentality. A gritty, hard-nosed defender. Steve is AAU program, Team Thrill, who did a terrific job of getting all of their workouts on stream and on tape so college coaches could evaluate their players.
Another turnover for Legacy early. Oh, and trying to climb the ladder there was Malik Bowman. Sutton with it for Legacy. Now we've seen a man-to-man defensive switch for Walsh.
It's a tough shot.
Baker gets that rebound.
Nice find.
And Brizick able to finish over Bowman.
Bryce McGowan's, he's not going to get very many minutes where he's actually on the bench, but if he has just a couple possessions where he doesn't have to carry his team, going to help him stay as fresh as he can down the stretch of this game.
Habib hits the 3. 2-point game here. Legacy early with the lead.
Okay.
And how about that? Okay is right. A little behind the back action for Prather Jr.
Come off the screen behind the back, and he's a guy who can create space. He's a skilled offensive player. He shoots it well, but he makes you pay when you run him off the line.
Baker down low, and he finishes.
Another nice finish that time, 6-9, and he's done a terrific job of that. Oof.
Habib lets it fly. Now McGowan's in transition.
Plenty of time. Oh, he got fouled.
Letting them play in the early going,
Extra.
it seems. Nice scoop and score for Jalen Miller in transition. And that's how this one wraps up. We're all square at the half. Bishop Walsh and Legacy Early College.
And I'll tell you what, that outside of those turnovers, they played well. They rebounded it beautifully. They made shots, did everything well, except they were bothered by that pressure.
Nice inside find and finish for the top 2 teams in the nation.
And I tell you what, I'm really looking forward to that Oak Hill LaLu game because those are 2 of the programs that are always among the very best in the country. So we talk about Montverde and IMG, rightfully so, but LaLu and Oak Hill absolutely in the same. Settle right back into that 2-3. It's Habib who kind of directs traffic and basically decides when to call it off and get to those zone spots.
Sutton's 3 wouldn't fall, and here's Habib coming back the other way. Slices through and finishes and 1.
Jordan Rayford at the top of the press. Now, he really had a terrific first half. He's had 7 rebounds, including 4 on the offensive end. So again, that jack of all trades, utility player who can impact the game without needing to have the ball in his hands.
Another turnover for Legacy early. And Baker, who otherwise had a really impressive first half, committing that one. That's number 11 for Legacy early. And there's the 3 hit. Prather Jr. Rayford really a guy who seems to have a nose for the ball in terms of tracking him down. It's number 8.
You know, so many people get so consumed with stats. How many points did you score? How many shots did you take? But there's a lot of other things you can do to help winning, and that's what Rayford's doing here today.
Wright doing his best as well on the other end.
Great find.
Habib couldn't get that to go. Chases his own board and gets fouled, going amongst the trees.
Be able to watch guys evolve. So when you have young players who are as impactful as they are at that early age, if they're in the 60, that means they're only juniors. And those 3 guys can all really play at a very early age.
Habib turning on the Jets again.
Good pass.
And the finish from the corner.
Throughout the half, really providing a boost for the Bishop Walsh offense.
Still perfect from the field. Now here's Wright. Back to work. Wright hits and finishes.
See if they can get McGowan's going.
McGowan's all the way in and just has it roll off. Follow won't go either. Tip. Baker gets his own board again and one.
Great ball right around the rim. That's why you can. That's what good players do. Everybody has bad days, but even when it's not going down, he's only missing by a couple inches.
Coming back the other way, it's Legacy early. McGowan's Euro step to the rim. It's been a little bit of a slow second half for McGowan's, who really lit things up to begin. But Bryce McGowan's really looking for his stride here in the second half of the second half, I guess.
And now it's Legacy taking a play from Bishop Walsh's playbook, using that zone. Looks like a 1-3-1.
Miller back pedals. Habib, 3-ball, corner pocket.
And you know, it's easy to see his speed, his toughness, but that shooting is going to be a real asset at the next level as well.
McGowan's the other way, swoops in and gets fouled. Full court pressure once again from Legacy.
I said tonight, it's only the afternoon and we're just getting started here. Some of their individual parts this year has been tremendous.
They played exceptionally well this year. Now here's the trapping coming.
Not the place to pick up your dribble, but a great find there. Flashes of the extremely high upside. And you may be saying, well, why is he so highly rated? Well, I'll tell you what. If he's a lot better, if we don't think he's very good, if you don't think he's very good, well, we're not the only ones who are getting it wrong. Bill Self, Bruce Pearl, they're getting it wrong too, because they all think he's influenced that. I don't think it's going to go back to normal, because forget about the fact that they haven't had in-person evaluations. No one in college basketball is losing a year of eligibility. No one in junior college is losing a year of eligibility. So the demand for high school prospects, especially at that low to mid-major level, is lower than it has ever been. And those two have been the unsung heroes here for Bishop Walsh. As good as the backcourt has been, Prather and Rayford have stepped up in a big way.
Here's Prather working his way in. 3-ball, off back iron for Miller. McGowan's in transition, has it swatted away by Miller. 14th turnover of the game.
And now remember, McGowan's has been sensational all week coming into this, the event's leading scorer. But you're talking about playing, in some cases, 7 games in 11 days after you really haven't played organized basketball in the better part of the last year.
Foul and one for Miller. Legacy is going to come back in this one. McGowan's is going to play a role. Have to battle through perhaps some of that fatigue that you were talking about.
Well, they better start to do it pretty soon, because at this point they're facing their biggest deficit of the game. There's under 2 minutes to play.
Foul.
It's a terrific sequence there for Bishop Walsh handling that pressure.
Taking the shot clock down to 10 before even considering getting anything going. Miller, Habib lets it fly. Bang!
Why not? That's been that kind of day.
Everything falling for Habib.
Was so good, and Prather was so good. I think it just changed the normal rotation. So you have to give Bishop Walsh kids credit for saying, hey, you know what? Tonight's your night. You go ahead and take it.
Clock will expire on this one with a final score of Bishop Walsh 70 and Legacy Early 58. An exclamation point for Bishop Walsh and Dan Preet's squad, as Bryce McGowan's company fall by a 70-58 score. So for Adam Finkelstein, I am Joe Torty saying so long from Springfield, Virginia, where the final score is Bishop Walsh 70, Legacy Early 58. All games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live and are archived on the ESPN app.